Happy summer! Hi, I'm Cece. I'm the registered dietitian with Kanema Fitness. Today we're going to talk all about hydration as well as go over a fun recipe to keep us hydrated and fueled throughout the summer. So during the summer, with the increase in heat, we want to make sure that we're staying hydrated even more so. With the summer, a lot of our summer activities do include an increase in physical activity, so that's another factor that we need to add into the equation with our overall hydration status. With fun trips being planned or maybe escapes over to the beach and spending a lot of time outside in the warm weather, we want to make sure that we're staying hydrated days before that big activity that's happening. That'll help make sure that we're feeling well and at our optimal level of activity for those big events. So, of course, drinking water is a great way to stay hydrated, but we can also get hydration from our food. So a lot of foods like fruits and vegetables are very high in water content. One of the highest fruits of water content is watermelon. So our recipe today is going to be based around watermelon. This is a nice, light, refreshing mix that we're going to create, and we'll talk about some extra additions that you can add into it to either bulk it up, or you can use this as a fun little side to other entrees. So first I have my watermelon all chopped up, and so we're just going to do big cubes for this. It'll make it more fun. And then I'm going to take a cucumber and dice it up. So I'm just going to slice it in half, and then in half lengthways as well. And we'll make a decent size cucumber. So cucumbers are also very high in water content, so this is double refreshing and will help us stay in that hydrated state. So I'm going to do these little half crescents of cucumbers to mix into it. That way when you dig your fork into the bowl, it's a nice big chunk of cucumbers and watermelon. What's great about adding food to your hydration is that you get a lot of extra vitamins and minerals from it. So not only are we staying nourished, but we're getting some micronutrients as well. There's a big conversation on the market about sports drinks and electrolytes, and if those are necessary. And my answer, unfortunately, is that it really depends person to person and the activity that you're doing. So unfortunately, I can't sit here and say that there's a generic, yes, they're great, no, they're terrible, stay away from them. It's a time and place and person dependent situation. And so they are very beneficial to making sure that you are staying hydrated with your electrolytes as well, especially if there's a lot of sweat loss. But also you want to consider your activity level and where you're participating in your activity, how you sweat. If you sweat efficiently, then you are losing more sodium, so you might want to replete with the electrolyte powders and electrolyte drinks. There's also a lot of different types on the market too, so making sure that it has the correct concentration of the electrolytes per the liquid, so that you're staying safe with that. And also looking at the nutrition label and seeing, is it adding extra calories? Because if you're drinking your sports drink after like an hour-long workout class and you weren't sweating that much, and your goal is to lose weight, if you're taking that sports drink that has extra carbohydrates to refuel you, that's great that it has the extra carbohydrates to refuel you afterwards. But if you're going home after eating dinner, or if you're eating lunch right after, then it may not be necessary. So it really is person dependent. So they're very beneficial for a lot of people, and then some people it might actually hinder their goals. So that's a little bit on the sports drinks. So going back to our recipe, we have our watermelon and our cucumbers chopped up and in our bowl. Next thing I want to add is some chickpeas. We've done a lot of recipes with chickpeas. I think they're just a quick, easy way to add a little extra fiber, and they're an incomplete protein, so mixed along with other foods, it'll help create a complete protein in our body. So we're gonna add these chickpeas into the bowl, and I rinsed them, so there should be a little bit on the drier side rather than straight out of the can. And then we're gonna add some mint. So we're gonna just dice up the mint so it's pretty fine, so we get a lot of mint in there just for that fun taste. And what's great about having mint on hand is that they can spruce up any drink. So like I said, you know, water is a great way to stay hydrated, but that kind of gets boring after a while. So feel free to like add mint, or even like the juice from the watermelon, you can add it a little bit to make a fun drink. If you're not big on water and you like more exciting drinks, try mixing some different herbs and maybe even infusing water into actual water, or you can do sparkling water. Sparkling water is it's a pretty great option, especially if you're looking for an elevated drink option, and it'll still help you stay hydrated. So we're just finely chopping up the mint to add into it. It really ties the flavors together, and it's a great way to find that refreshing taste as well. You know, cucumbers and mint, I think, are such an elite combo. It tastes delicious, and that could also be a great way that you can amplify your water tasting. So you can add cucumber and mint into your water and put it in the fridge overnight for a minimum of 4 hours. But honestly, if you do it the night before and then have it in the fridge for like 12 hours, it'll really amplify the taste. And just let it sit and enjoy all the flavors, and then you can drain it out the next morning, so you don't have the cucumber and mint in the water, and you'll get that great taste. Watermelon's also a great one. Strawberry is a fun one to do. You can do like strawberry and basil. It's a funny combo, but if those are flavors that you are into, it tastes pretty good. Okay, so we are gonna add the mint in. Might even have to add more mint into individual servings when this gets dished out. I love it, extra minty. And then we're gonna add some feta cheese. So we're gonna just use some crumbled feta cheese. Alrighty, and that is everything we're adding in terms of the base, and we're just gonna add a little bit of balsamic drizzle to tie the flavors together and add a nice garnish. So this is what it looks like with everything together. We're gonna mix it up, add our drizzle, and then serve it all ready. Okay, it's a little bit more mixed now. We're gonna add the balsamic drizzle just on top. You can always wait until this is in your individual bowl to add this. And voila, you're all set. So like I said, this is a great option for the summer because it's hydrating. It's using watermelon, which is in its peak season right now, and it's just a fun side to have. So it's not a complete meal as is, so you want to make sure that you're adding a little something extra to bulking it up. So right in here as is, this can be a side with an entree, or you can think about adding other things to it. So maybe if you add couscous on the side, or even as a base to it, and maybe a piece of grilled chicken on top for even extra protein, that can be an option. Or if you want to just do quinoa, or for your protein and your carb, that could be an option. You can even add some farro and leave it as is if you are okay with just the farro and the chickpeas for your protein for that combo. So you really can do whatever you want for this. Another thing that I love with watermelon is cottage cheese. I think the pairing of that is delicious. That can be an easy early morning thing to just kind of mix together when you're on the go on the way to work. Great way to stay hydrated, get your protein in as well. So yeah, I hope you enjoy this. Let me know if you have any questions about staying hydrated in the summer. Biggest tips, making sure that you're continuing to drink your water and drinking your beverages or getting your hydration from lots of fruits and vegetables. Make sure that you are staying hydrated days before a big event where you're outside. So if you're running a race, going to be at the beach all day, make sure that hydration starts 2 to 3 days before so that you're feeling 100% for that time. Remember that the heat really plays a big role on your overall hydration because you're going to sweat a little bit more. So factor that in and stay safe and have a great summer.